many times. When I worked at Turner, we would bounce around during the first round, and there was one year where our first road trip for our crew lasted 18 days because every series went 6 or 7, and there were about 3 key games where it's like, all right, if this team loses, we all get to go home, and it's like you're doing the game, you're like, come on, you become a fan, and it was unbelievable. Like I think I did like 3 loads of laundry on that, on one road trip. So I know how you feel.
We'll back that way something.
Yeah.
For us,
all right, who wants to start?
What do we make of this series of there being more success on the road than at home?
Hey Raymond, can you turn the music down real quick? I didn't even hear that.
When I asked him, he said, I can't. Thanks for asking.
I was asking, what do you make of how this series of whole has been more success on the road compared to home?
Yeah, it's a strange one for sure. But I think for us, we had more of a sense of urgency on the road. We seemed to be better prepared. And I think last night, a little bit like game 2, we just sort of expected it to happen, and you're not gonna do that against the Clippers. They're tough. I'm sorry, hang on.
Yeah. Draymond wants the music up.
What? Not me, obviously. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it.
As long as you don't feel
If I yell.
What was the root of the defensive breakdowns once you reviewed the tape?
Just not. We didn't make them feel us defensively. They were moving, cutting, dribbling right past us. So we didn't have an edge, a competitive edge, and a toughness about us last night. And it showed right from the beginning. I hated that first quarter. They scored 37 points, even though we had a 4-point lead. That the tone was set, and we got to set a better tone right away.
You used the answers 5 a ton in last year's playoffs, almost like 13 minutes or so per game. You need to start using it, more in games.
I think we did. If I remember correctly, last night we brought Andre in earlier, than we normally do to close second and fourth. We've done that a couple times in the series, but there's no question I've got to consider all of our options in terms of the rotations and who's playing with whom and for how long, all that stuff. That's our job.
Does that include the starting lineup?
We could. Never know.
The way Beverley rebounded last night, were those? I mean, he made some nice rebound, but were there some blockouts that?
Oh yeah, we missed a lot of box outs with him, and but you got to know what you're up against when you play against Beverley. He's a competitor. That's how he's made his money in this league. That's how he's been able to stick around, because he competes and he makes you uncomfortable, and he scraps and goes after loose balls. I love that guy. He's a hell of a competitor. He's a hell of a player. I think every coach would like to have a guy like him on their team. So you have to understand when you're playing against him, you got to match that edge. That's what we didn't do last night. I thought his first quarter effort and our lack of a response set the tone for the whole game.
After a game like last night, do you wait till the morning to review the film, or do you?
I watched it last night, and then we watched it again this morning.
Was there anything from the film that surprised you at all? Anything you hadn't really noticed much during the game?
No, at this stage in the series, you kind of know what you got and what you're dealing with. The adjustments are all pretty subtle. We saw them in the game last night. So we weren't surprised by anything, but when you watch it it gives you an opportunity to consider changes, and it spurs conversation about what you might alter.
What do you think about the changes the Clippers have made defensively on the staff the past few games?
I don't think that's a huge factor. They've done a good job, so I'm not taking anything away from them. But I think more than anything, last night they played harder than we did, and so schemes go out the window when a team plays harder than you. Schemes don't matter unless you compete. So I always say it every year. The first adjustment you have to make is playing harder, and then you can get into switching rotations and matchups. And I thought in LA we played really hard. I think our last 2 home games we let our guard down. And the one thing you should know from watching the Clippers all year is that this is a competitive, fun team that enjoys playing together, and they're not going to go away. So you got to put them away by competing, and that's what we have to do.
Last week you said you'd like Kevin to take 20 shots a game, maybe even 30. Since then he's taken 26, 21, and 23. And obviously scored a lot of 3 games. Is that just a matter of him consciously being more assertive? Is it something that you call more plays for him? What's
Kevin's he's playing great. I mean, I thought he was fantastic last night. We've called a few more plays for him, but he's also attacked on his own, and just he knows we need him to score in the playoffs, and he's made a point of being really aggressive, and we've made a point of trying to call a few more plays for him, and he's been great.
Good stuff last night when I asked him about Durant. He made the point that it's sort of balancing his shooting with the natural flow of the offense. Is that sort of a balancing act? Like you said, he can hit a shot wherever he wants.
I thought the balance was fine last night. We scored 121 points. The other game we lost, we scored 129. So offense is not the problem. They're doing a good job defensively. They are making certain guys shoot, trying to take away certain areas of the floor. But this is the playoffs. This is exactly how it always works. Every team's got a lot of time to prepare, so you come up with little schemes, little lineup shifts. So we've seen this for 5 years, and teams have been watching us in the playoffs for 5 years. So they've been plotting and scheming, and they've had a lot of homework and a lot of research that they were able to do over the years. So we expect all of this. Everything that the Clippers are doing defensively, we've seen before, and they're doing a really good job. But again, we're scoring plenty of points. We can do some things better offensively, but it comes down to defensive focus and energy and intensity. And we take care of that part. A lot of things will resolve themselves.
You did last night. You mentioned rushing things. There have been years where the passing, zipping the ball around. I mean, are you pleased with the shot? I mean, they were a lot of them good-looking shots that didn't fall. But when you talk about being rushed, do you want a little more passing to get even better looks?
I just think patience in general. It doesn't mean you can't take quick shots early in the shot clock. It just means setting your feet and maybe making a pump fake and forcing the defense to react, and then you put them on their heels. So I didn't think we did that at either end. I thought we were on our heels all last night. They controlled the game from the first quarter, and it showed up at both ends of the floor.
Regardless of all the other stuff that happened leading up to the final 5 minutes, you guys had a 2-point lead, I think, with like 4 minutes to go or something. You had your camera line up in there. What happened in the final 4 minutes? They ended up winning by 8.
I thought that 4-point play was a big deal. Lou hit that 3, and then the free throw, and so I think we were up 1 or 2 at that point. 2. and then it went back. I thought it was maybe we were up 1. I think we went up 1, and then they went back up 3, and then I believe we turned the ball over on the next possession. I thought that was the key sequence. You know, we really used a lot of energy to get back into the game in the fourth. We showed desperation, which was great, but you know, at that point you're almost you're just playing catch up. So we did a hell of a job to get back in it and take the lead, but they closed the game really well, and obviously Lou made some big shots.
Draymond at the technical foul looked like he was almost strategic. Did you sense that he was trying to like get his teammates going, or even though you think that was just him going off the wall?
No, I thought he was trying to get the crowd going. He picked up the foul on the next play, and he started clapping, but he was trying to get the crowd into it. And I didn't think it was a good call. You know Beverley's going to flop in the paint, and Draymond turned and looked like Mike Tyson punched him in the face. And Beverley's good at that. His head literally snaps back. I worry he's going to get whiplash on some of these flops, but he's good at it. And the refs, they're oftentimes partial to the little guy who's down there. I didn't like that particular call. I know Draymond didn't, hence the technical. But there's no question Draymond was trying to get the crowd going at that point. Excuse me? No, I didn't see fatigue last night. I just saw a lack of urgency, and you can't win a playoff game without urgency. It's not that easy.
When you talk about altering, conversations about altering things, is everything on the table?
Oh yeah, everything's always on the table.
Lineup.
Every playoff game, everything is always on the table. So we consider everything. We go over every possibility. We hash it out. We ask the players their opinions on stuff, and we make adjustments. And I think again, I get back to it, but that's how the playoffs work. You think about last year's run. We started JaVale in one series, and he didn't even play for 2 series. And we started him in the finals, and so every opponent offers something different, and you have to be adaptable.
Steve, what's your level of concern on what this all means, like pertaining to Houston, in the sense that they have more days?
I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm thinking about the Clippers and just trying to win the series, and that's what tomorrow is about. The reality is we're in a pretty good position. You go into every playoff series, at least I do. And you want to be up 3-2, and you want to have, if you have home court like we do in the West, you want to be up 3-2 in every series, so that you've got one shot on the road and one shot at home if the shot on the road doesn't work. And so we are, we would have liked to have won last night, and that was, the blueprint is to, win in 5 and get some rest and all that. That's out the window. We wasted our opportunity, but we're still in a really good position. We got to take advantage of it. Thanks.